Okay, this is like the fifth time I'm trying to record this morning. It's something's going on, and I'm gonna have to stew about it and figure out what's going on. Yeah, remember, today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. It's about 11:15 in the morning. Um, Remember, I am a psychic, clairvoyant, clairaudient, so everything is my psychic opinion and it's for entertainment purposes only. So go out, do your own research, and form your own opinions. And yeah, I guess everybody's kind of like in decompression mode right now because over the past few weeks there's been a lot of fear mongering and people trying to scare gullible people because of yesterday's solar eclipse. And it's just getting ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And when I spoke to people on Sunday, I said, hey, chill out. It's going to be fine. Okay, in some areas, there was some traffic congestion, which is to be expected. Some food items were kind of cleared out because stores didn't stock enough in of like favorite junk food. I mean, potato chips, soda, all sorts of canned beverages, things that were in portion control sizes that people would use if they're going outside to sit and basically have a picnic. So, okay, a couple places ran out of ice. But folks, you got to realize that a solar eclipse happens all the time. It was just a big deal because the path was across portions of the United States this time. And certain political parties know that they're grasping at straws to scare people. I guess the next one is going to be kind of like I looked at the schedule of the other solar eclipses. Some of them are going to be across the oceans. I mean, one that's coming up, one of the next ones will be up in the Arctic Circle. Another one goes across the Indian Ocean to Australia. Another one will be down south of the equator on the far tip of South America. And so if you're down at the bottom of South America and Antarctica, you'll have a really good view of that eclipse. So you can't be scared about things. And people are always like, oh, they're so glued into astrology. And while some of it is, I say astrology is just, you can't live every single moment by it. It's just words of guidance, suggestions. So that's all it is. Astrology is suggestions on things that are possibly going to happen and how you handle the situation. But you can't, literally, you can't make every step according to it. You have to live your own life. You can't be a person that is so dependent on somebody else's advice. It reminds me years ago, back in the 90s, early 90s, I was still doing reading for a lot of people, and it got to the point where I had some people that could not function unless they called me almost on a daily basis for them to go out and live everyday lives. And I had a few of these people. And it got to the point where, no, they were like psychic vampires, stealing energy. And I'm like, okay, I'll do a reading for someone, but I'm not going to be the person that you call every 15 minutes whenever you have to make a decision. Hold on, phone's ringing. Okay, back. Uh, just one of my neighbors letting me know something's going on. Uh, Nothing serious. But what I was saying is that, yeah, way back when, this is the early 90s when I was doing readings very regularly for a lot of people. I mean, I basically had one evening a week where I would be at this one coffee house. So towards the mid 90s, I just kind of said, the heck with it. I'm just going to stop doing readings, live my life. I have other things I need to take care of. And it wasn't until what, end of 2022 that I'm like, there's so many people out there believing propaganda, and I'm realizing it's all bullshit that they're shoving down people's throats. That's kind of like why I started this channel. And now, yes, I have done readings for quite a few people from who have seen me here on YouTube. And you, the people know that I usually wait in between personal readings. When I do a reading for someone, it's like, okay, but we have to allow at least one full, complete lunar cycle. So if I talk to someone and it's a new moon, we have to wait till that lunar cycle ends, go through another complete lunar cycle, and then I'll do another reading. And I have found by doing that, you have a clearer energy aura, able to do a reading and pull out the right information that people need to know about. And because I'm a clairvoyant, the information comes to me differently than someone who gazes at a crystal or pulls up cards. It's like I'm in a conversation and then I'll just start getting the information fed to me. And that's how I tell the people what's going on. Now, so that's why it was like the past few days with this eclipse, I was pretty much babysitting people saying, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. Chill. So, yeah, yesterday, as everybody can tell, nothing super horrible happened. Everything's going to be cool. Yes, certain areas, uh, because the solar lunar cycle does determine certain, like the tides, the water tides of the oceans. Okay, something that's kind of whacked is in parts of, I guess it's parts of Sussex, England, are getting flooded really badly. And it's kind of ironic because a certain pair of somebodies, they're too busy bashing their in-law. The woman's too busy bashing her in-laws and her self-ego promotion to make any inquiries about the counties in England that she has her Duchess title from. I think it's really, I mean, even Henry hasn't made any inquiries, I mean, about the flooding in parts of Sussex. I mean, that's where your ducal titles represent. I'm like, why haven't they made any basic inquiries? But that just goes to show how self-absorbed they really are. And it's very, very unfortunate. And then some of these gossip junk box channels are saying, oh, James Earl of Wessex is going to get the Duke of Sussex title. I'm like, no. Henry will have that title probably until he leaves this earthly plane, but that title will be then put back into abeyance until who knows when. Just like Edward has the title of Duke of Edinburgh until he passes, but his son already has his title. He's now the Earl of Wessex, and that's what will happen. And who knows who's going to have the Edinburgh title? We've got to wait it out. Hey, Edward may last until, hey, his dad was around till age 99. Edward's younger than me, so that Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh will stay with Edward and Sophie. I'm thinking for at least another 40 years or 30 years at least. So who knows? Who knows who's going to end up with it? It may be, hey, George might have 2 kids by then. And that title may go to George's younger son. Okay? Or the title of Duke of York may go to George's younger son. And if George has 3 sons, one will be Duke of York, one will be Duke of Edinburgh. So give it some rest, people, on that. Now, some people are having kitten fits because they're now seeing Andrew out and about more and more. And they're all saying, oh, he's such a horrible person. Well, you know what? I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to have to cringe and bite the bullet and get Netflix for about a week and watch the last season of The Crown and watch that made-for-TV movie, Scoop. But think back. You see, the palace has a really good PR team. And think how well they brought Camilla back into positive acceptance. Some people thought, oh, she's so horrible, she broke up the marriage of Charles and Diana. No, the marriage between Charles and Diana was primarily a business arrangement. It's just that they would still be around if both of them could have kept their damn mouths shut during interviews. But they didn't. Because it was a business arrangement. Hey, he needed somebody younger who could drop a couple of kids. And then once those kids were in place, as long as they maintained the illusion of a happy marriage, she could have done whatever she wanted to as long as it didn't scare the horses. Same with him. But they scared the horses. And because they broke that unwritten rule, that's when Huey too said, time for it's Splitsville for the 2 of you. Because you couldn't play by the rules. And now Henry, who was raised in the environment, Henry's not playing by the rules. So, you know what? Yeah, they've shut off his access to the principal dollar amounts in the trust accounts. Henry has to live on the interest from the trusts. And for most of us, that'd be enough for us, for a family of 6 to live on comfortably. But unfortunately, Rachel needs constant ego validation. And so does Henry. That's why they're going broke. And when he comes back for this Invictus stuff, it is going to be put in front of him. Where are the kids? What is the truth? And she's going to come up with some feeble excuse not to show up. But he's going to establish residency back at Highgrove. And that's his residence. So then he can file the divorce stuff in the UK. And that's when everything will have to be produced. And it is going to blow up in their faces. Her face. So, yeah. And right now we do have to remember that today is the anniversary of Philip's passing. He was a wonderful man who gave up his career because he knew that his wife would be the monarch. And QE2 supported her husband, well, in his naval career for as long as possible until her father's health took a turn for the worse. And Philip realized he no longer could be active Navy. He had to resign his commissions to go back to London to help support his wife, who was the heir, and to support her because she would soon be queen. And that's what he did. The rest of his life he spent running the home front, house husband, and when the kids were old enough that they didn't need a parent watching over everything 25/8, he did take some time out for himself, and that's when he did go and do certain things like the Thursday lunch club, and he had his friends where he would go and play cards with, and that's when he was able to quietly do some of the stuff that assisted the organizations affiliated with the Green Building. And so we do want to remember to send out some condolences to basically the 4 kids, Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. This is the day they lost their dad. And I know what it's, yeah, he was a tough guy, but he was a good guy. And I'm really sending out like healing energy to those 4 kids. So they can make it through this day and remember their dad with honor. And hopefully Henry and Rachel will have the decency today to keep their damn mouths shut and not say anything. So let's see what happens the rest of today. Now we're also seeing more and more people are up in Scotland are calling up about that stupid shit that Whomsai idiot put through. Well, now there's more and more stuff coming out with J.K. Rowling and how she handled the situation and what happened during that football match over the weekend. And it's like that guy basically fell on his own petard. And it is now going to come out, and it's going to kick their butts into the next millennium. So people are listening, and even some of these stupid men that I guess that are these transvestites. They say, oh, I'm a trans woman. I go, no, you're a transvestite. You're a guy dressed up in women's clothing. It's going to be ironic because pretty soon some of these idiots, these transvestites, I mean, some of them are so pro-Hamas, pro-evil empire, that they're going to start going into some of these women-only establishments. And when the mullahs know about this stuff, those transvestites, they're going to be taught how to go play Superman. Just wait, it's going to start happening. Especially in the areas, it's going to happen in the UK. It'll kick off there. And then it's going to spread here to the States. And because the UK and here, we've got the biggest group of stupid transvestites. That's what they are. Now, for some other stuff that is now being put out there, and the woke media is trying to twist it. But okay, Germany now realizes that there's some big ass nasty shit hovering around. And right now, Germany has actually started sending a couple units of their army into Lithuania. And people are thinking, oh, it's going to help the Ukraine fight against the Russians. No. You see, Germany is supplying needed materials to Israel because the people in Germany are still being taught how Adolf rose to power. And Germany is still paying out reparations to people of uh, the descendants of people that Adolf's idiots eliminated. So they realize what's going on and they recognize what the evil empire of Iran is doing. They first want their jihad Joes. So Germany is like now saying, okay, they realize that the Z guy is getting money from the US and from Ukraine. They're giving it basically to Iran. So the evil empire can fortify all their little tentacles. Well, Germany is starting to say no dice. And okay, they've sent some people to Lithuania. And if you look on the map, that's kind of to the north of the Ukraine. I mean, you do have Belarus up there too. So basically, all the countries surrounding the Z guy are joining forces. Look at it on a map. It's going to get interesting. And especially now with, I guess, in the International Court of Justice located in The Hague, Nicaragua. Yeah, a punky ass Central American country is trying to go after, sue Germany because they're helping Israel. Big mistake. Here, Nicaragua is one of the gateway countries for the Jihad Joes to come in and start into process themselves to be invading the United States. All they did was Nicaragua has now made themselves visible on the map and realized this is a holding pen for the invading Jihad army. Of course they're going to go after Israel because they are siding with the evil empire. They just made their ideology known to the rest of the world. And they forget that Nicaragua, most of the people are Roman Catholic. They don't realize the normal everyday citizens there and those guys that are trying to sue Germany at the Hague, after the evil empire goes after the Jews, the Roman Catholics are next on the list. They're so stupid. So it's coming. But we just got to make it through till November. Well, actually, next January. We just have to stay strong and not let these stupid transvestites and these undereducated youths rule the world. We got to put our foot on their necks and say, not happening. And there's so many under 40s that need to be re-educated with the truth. And if you can do it at a grocery store by calling out some little brat, do it. It's going to be up to every single one of us to help re-educate these brats. And if you see a man who calls himself a trans woman, call him a transvestite to his face. That's all he is. He is incapable of carrying, of getting pregnant and going full term. He has the wrong internal organs. So he's a transvestite. That's it. And you see a woman dressed up in men's clothing, so she's a dyke. Call them out for what they really are. And watch them go into a nuclear meltdown. Maybe we should walk around with squirt guns containing iodine. Because, you know, nuclear radiation poisoning, what you need to do is iodine to neutralize it. They're going to go into a nuclear meltdown because you call them out for what they are. Yeah, spray them down with iodine and, hey, it might wake them up to reality. Yeah, I have iodine in my medicine cabinet. Don't laugh. I'm of the age, hey, remember we used to mix iodine in with baby oil to get a great tan? That's the original self-tanner, folks. Yeah, iodine and baby oil. Because the iodine actually stains your skin. So, yeah, that's the old-fashioned fast tan. So, yeah, everybody have a great afternoon, evening, and let's see, today's Tuesday. The next video goes up on Thursday, and I'll be talking to you on Thursday then. Bye-bye.